about.
No.
We are going to talk about, we have 10 items going out, so we got that aspect. And then we also had a return that just arrived yesterday.
Womp womp womp.
And obviously, never good to have a return. But I feel like to some degree this is our fault, so we're going to kind of talk through that a little bit. But before we get started, my name is Aaron.
I'm Amber.
And we are full-time resellers. I think you need to come over.
I think you've angled it just fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Or do you want me close?
So the return is a Skywave radio. So this is the actual bolo to look out for. So it's like got a lot of different frequencies that you can use as a radio to use. I don't know what's the real purpose other than like emergency would make sense.
I think it does weather, and it may pick up like police radio
ham radio
or
and stuff like that. Yeah, I think so. I think it has a lot of like multi-purposes for it. We paid $1 for it.
Right.
It sold for like $65, I think, plus shipping. It came with an AC cord and everything. And the reason for the return was the sleep function didn't work on it.
The customer claimed sleep function didn't work.
And so you take that whenever somebody says that, and it's an item that you don't know too much about. You just think you take them.
And you definitely didn't test that.
No.
Sending it out.
I mean, I'm going to test some things, but I'm not going to test everything. Yeah. Hey, does this button work? Does this button work? Yep. Okay, perfect. We're good. We're going to send it and we'll be done. So you kind of hope, and you take a little bit of like risk. Because like, can you fully test everything? No, I think it's unreasonable to think that you're going to test, especially when you have a bunch of knobs, doodads, and everything that's like associated with it. So you see that message, you're just like, fine, whatever. You take it back. And then when we get it back, we test the sleep function, and
it worked just fine.
So
shut off when it was supposed to.
It could have easily been a situation to where
it wasn't easy for us to figure out how to make it work.
It took us like 15 to 20 minutes of digging and trying to figure out the things, and then you found like an instruction manual, so ours didn't come with one.
Right.
And so I think it's important in those situations that you make sure that you say you report problem with reason, because you don't want this to negatively impact your store. You don't agree with the reason. I took a picture of the sleep function on the face of it, and explained that I was able to get that function to work.
Right.
They also didn't return the AC adapter with it that was sold with it, so I deducted $10 on the cost, because that's, I think it was like $12 to replace it.
Yeah.
The big downside too is when fiddling with it when we got it back, I pretty much wrecked it.
He broke it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he
with the antenna, and I couldn't get it to function right, so we're going to end up chunking it anyway. But in the big scheme of things, if we paid $1 for it, we learned a new bolo.
Yes.
Because we know that to look out for those types of radios, so there is value in that. And effectively, by withholding the $10 on the AC cord that we did not receive on the return, we're going to still make a couple bucks.
Yep.
But it is not ideal.
Nope. It would have been nice to be able to resell it if you didn't break the antenna.
Yeah, well, that would have been ideal for sure, but that's not where we're at.
Yeah.
So we just got to accept and enjoy.
We know our weaknesses, and it is repairing electronics.
I have a bad tendency of just muscling everything, so.
I know. I'm like, why? Why did you do that? Like, it's not supposed to have to be forced in or out.
She was saying first that it was like coming up, so I was like.
It almost looked like someone had tried to super glue the antenna into the machine, and so he was looking at that, and then next thing you know, he's holding two parts.
Yeah.
He ripped it out. I'm like, why? Why did you do that? It was working okay.
Yeah, and then when you put it back in, it did not
like
get
fuzzy.
Great.
It's not great.
Didn't get great signal. So, with that being said, we'll jump into our sales. So we have 10 items.
Day. What's going on? Oh, this first. So this is our second one of these. The other one sold yesterday or the day before?
Yeah.
Mary Kay, time-wise.
I think we need to take the $10 tag off.
Maybe. I didn't notice that on the other one.
Well, it wasn't in the picture.
Okay.
So it's not a big deal.
So
it sold for $47.45 plus shipping. It's kind of interesting because personally, I've almost gotten to a point where I kind of wrote off Mary Kay a little bit, because we've had some bad experiences where people will say, it's not used, all this other stuff, and then you open it up, and you're like,
this is used.
You rascals.
Yeah. Why do you lie?
But that's good to see, and those were in really good condition. So we just got to be very thorough with those. Next up, we have Hello Kitty Loving Life DS, which is funny because I sent you a picture just the other day where I went to UPS and somebody had an SUV that was completely decked out with Hello Kitty all over it.
Decals all over the outside of the car.
And the person was older than me.
Oh, they love Hello Kitty.
And so I'm like, these people do exist out there
Yes, they do.
that love Hello Kitty.
Yes.
This game sold for $13.95 plus shipping. It did take quite a while to sell. So.
Yeah. And not all Hello Kitty things are worth getting. We've had some other. I think we had a toaster. Did that sell? The Hello Kitty toaster?
I think we decided not to list it for some reason or another. But most of the stuff I would say
I
is
don't
good.
think it was making the imprint on the toast like it was supposed to.
Correct. Next up, we have Misfits. This vinyl record sold for $18.95 plus shipping. And that was part of the newer purchase that you got.
So I'm glad to see this go because I was kind of keeping it in its own bin because it's kind of oily. What is it?
This is a vintage, the Stockman Australian 100% cotton, let's see, oil skin duster coat. Yeah.
So I've been trying to keep it isolated.
So now that's a big space saver is what you're saying. So that's good. And that jacket sold for $85 plus shipping.
That's great. It did take a while to
It took a while to sell, but I think we only paid like $5 for it.
Yeah, that was at one of the long sales. I think.
$10 at the most is probably what we're in for it. Next up, we sold
our best item of the day. Dun, dun, dun.
This is a Fuko. This is like a knockoff Lego.
Right.
Is what I would call it, Foco. But it is brand new sealed, and it is for Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. So it is football season, so it makes sense. I've had a lot of offers on this, but it was like incredibly lowball offers because you can ask a premium when it's new.
Right.
So we were asking a premium, and we got the full price of $179.99.
That's amazing. And I remember getting this because this was at a sale where the wife was having the most difficult time letting things go, and she was pricing everything really high. This was one of the things she just was tired of pricing things and said, honey, just tell him a price. And he said like $5 or something like that. And she like flipped out. Do you know how much those are worth? Whatever. I don't even care anymore. Like that was like a fight that started there. Well, thank you.
So $5 into $179.99 plus shipping. And again, I had no idea that it was going to be worth that much.
I know.
I was thinking maybe we get $100 for it, but and the other cool thing about it is it's going international.
Yeah, and that's great because we aren't going to have any issues. Like if they try to return it or something.
Well, because see, the downside is it protects us a little bit. Because if we sold that internationally, I would think that a lot of times the people in customs would open that box.
I don't know.
And then just
they have to look at things.
But... I know, but they're going to open it, shut it,
so
and then
no longer
it's
sealed.
all rattled,
you never know.
And who knows if they lose it in transit.
I don't know.
I'm not playing that game.
But we're thankful for the eBay international program. Global shipping.
Yeah, makes things a lot less stressful.
We don't have to worry about it.
Next up, we have a vintage belt buckle. This is a Carpenter tool belt. It's a tool belt, so it's got a hammer, a saw, and that sold $10 plus shipping.
Alrighty, we only just recently started buying belt buckles.
Yeah,
they're kind of unique. I like them.
It's different for sure, and they're easy to list, so I don't hate them. Teddy Pendergrass vinyl record, $9.95 plus shipping on this vinyl record. Still in the shrink wrap. This is one of our early purchases.
Used, but yeah, it still has it on there.
This is Kim Old. I bought this at our local thrift store, and I think I priced these up initially at $60. And these have been.
I'm pretty sure I don't like this purchase.
Why?
Because I don't like finding a box for these.
So you can ship it like this. Or you can ship it like this.
Well, thank you for that.
You've got so many options.
So many options.
I just don't strongly encourage you to do it like this.
That would be a big box.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
But. Regardless, I hate shipping tennis rackets. I really do try to see if priority shipping is comparable but what did it sell for?
Sold for $19.95 plus shipping.
Not worth it. Don't get these again, please.
Next up, we have a lot of Skylanders, and we bought a big lot of Skylanders. This is one of those early things that we were wanting to purchase a lot of.
Well, the kids were excited for them too.
Yes, so it's like a little bit of a
toy/sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get to play with them.
I'm not going to send that bag. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know. But part of me is always like, I just got to peel off price tags and stuff like that. But nevertheless, so with this Skylander lot, we had it listed for 20. Somebody offered 14, and I haven't been getting a lot of interest, so I went ahead and just took it.
Okay.
And it's just good to get stuff out when it's sitting for a while.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of Skylanders. We almost got a whole bin full of Skylanders. So anytime we can.
And sometimes whenever you do this, like you make a sale on like a lower value item in that category, it will bump up the rest in that category. So maybe we will start selling more Skylanders and get them down.
I would certainly hope so.
Yeah, so we'll see.
And then the last sale of the day is another The Misfits vinyl record purchase. It's funny, whenever you pick up a lot of something, that ends up being what you sell a lot for a while. And we've been selling a lot of vinyl records lately. And this one sold $26 plus shipping on The Misfits. And this was all you basically paid $1 for all those records.
Like 20 records.
So basically it's almost like
total $1.
This is a nickel.
Yeah.
Is what you paid. So after fees and everything, we're going to be sitting at like $20
That's
profit.
perfect. I like it.
So good sale there. Very productive yesterday. I cleaned all the shoes except for one pair. For whatever reason, that one pair just dodged me, and
they were baby shoes and they were easy to hide.
And I didn't notice it. And I'm like, all right, you're just gonna get into the next lot because I'm not doing that anymore.
Not bringing everything back out.
But
there was a lot of gum on those shoes.
Yes, there was. Oh, did you notice this when you picked them out?
Yeah. Not when I picked them out. When we got them home and I was taking them to the garage, I was like, "Ugh, he's gonna hate these."
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
But was
I'm not
it worth
a fan.
it?
It's like a pet peeve almost. Is like
if there's gum, put it down. It's not happening.
It takes a lot more. I think that's the most. The only worst thing would be is if you clean a pair of shoes and then you feel like you just can't get it clean enough to where you can't list it. So then you feel like you wasted your time and you wasted your money, and now you're donating the item back because it just isn't going to work. So that would be worse. The gum and getting gum out would be the second worst.
Yeah.
Because it is rough getting gum off of a
When I married you, I never would have guessed that your future would have cleaning in it.
Yeah.
Never. So it's a skill that you now have. Now, if we could just make our own shoes look nice, because they don't. They look normal and used.
I think it's funny whenever you see somebody that's like like they mow lawns for a living, then you go to their house and their lawn looks awful.
Oh, I know. I just think that people just get sick of it.
It's like, I'm not doing it.
It's kind of like us when we do garage sales. Like now, shopping is not as exciting.
Good.
It's ruined it because
I'm so glad to hear
I look
this.
at the prices in retail stores and I'm like, I just can't pay that. I can't.
This is music to my ears, everybody. I love it. So
it's rare when I buy something full price like at a regular store.
So
I'm always going to clearance.
It's a very
sorry.
No, you're good.
You were productive yesterday.
Very productive day. Yes. Got a lot of stuff listed. I think I don't have too much to list today. I want to make sure that I get the little blow mold. I gotta get the snowmen and the Santas. We don't have anything listed on those right now because we sold them about a week ago and I just haven't replenished. So I need to go and pull some Santas and snowmen and get those listed. Out. But other than that, I think we did get a piece for an Intellivision, so I'm going to get the Intellivision set up so that I can start hopefully listing some of those games and get them tested and all those kind of things, and maybe get the Intellivision itself listed as well.
Hopefully it works.
Yeah, that would be great, and it'd be interesting.
Have you ever played one?
I've played them before, and they are not fun.
They're not easy to use.
I'm not excited to use. So I love playing video games, and Intellivision is not one. It's
the buy cost was so low, it's hard to pass up.
It was it's like an Atari.
Yeah.
But actually, I don't know if we're gonna make a ton of money off of it.
Oh no.
To be honest with you, but it's like Atari, but the gameplay, it's like almost you got to use your imagination with it.
Weird.
Compared to like
Yeah.
when
Like
there's
you're playing the game that's already built. They're like, okay, you
yeah,
fill in the blanks here.
move this dot
Yeah.
around, and then this is supposed to be
Oh.
you as an overhead
Oh,
view
okay.
of. It's like this is a stretch. This is a stretch.
They
So,
wanted something on the market, but they didn't put a whole lot
yeah,
into it.
I think if I'm not wrong, I think I'm correct, but I think the Intellivision came before the Atari.
Oh, okay.
So this is probably the oldest system
Hmm.
that I've ever played.
Okay.
So we'll see. But
Be interesting
what's your
to see what
plan
our
for today?
kids think. Hello. I am shipping and school, and then we have your vision appointment.
Yeah, so I got a vision appointment at
Yep.
3 today, so should be a fun day.
Should be.
And
then this weekend. So we're not coming back on tomorrow.
No.
We're coming back Monday. Do you have any big dreams for this weekend?
no,
Sales?
we have rain on the
Oh, you're
forecast,
right.
so there
Starting
is
tomorrow.
potential to where it could be a rough weekend,
Yeah.
which is a shame because we've actually been very fortunate this year when it comes to weather.
Yeah. It's held
And-
off all at the right times.
Yes, like it'll be okay. We're expecting rain on Saturday, but it's like late Saturday, and so we really haven't had to deal with like rainouts and
Right.
cancellations and stuff like that. And hopefully we don't have to this weekend.
We
So,
shall see.
but it's
But
always
whenever there's rain in the forecast, people generally like pull back on their garage sale plans.
yes, they do. And so,
Unless they're dying to get out or like they're moving.
and the big problem with it is the weather is so nice
Right.
that this is the time of year when you get that second burst of garage sales, and so we don't want to waste those. It can rain in December. We're not going to go anyway because there's not anything to go get. But during this time, it would be nice if we had some good opportunities. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And I got nothing else.
Take care, everybody.
See you on Monday.